and welcome to Cookin in the Kitchen. Boomchang Records DC, coast to coast here again. Today, another fantastic guest, all the way from Dublin, currently touring over here in the UK. Derry, how are you doing?
Not too bad, how are you keeping?
Hey, it's lovely to have you in the kitchen, man.
Good to be here in the kitchen, man.
I've got to say, I've been checking out your music.
Good stuff.
It's really nice, fresh approach. I love it.
Nice one. Good, I'm glad.
Will you talk to us a little bit about your past and how you got involved in the music scene?
Sure, man. I mean, it just... How did I get into it? I've been listening to music, like Irish traditional, the stuff that I play. Basically, I've been listening to that since I was a kid. I suppose the earliest memory I have, I've told a few people this, is that myself and my father and my mother and my sister, we fairly close family, and I kind of get on fairly well with them all, like my mates, like more so.
That's great.
But when I was a kid, like any other kid, I wouldn't go to bed, like, she'll be up all night, like, you know. And my dad come in and he set the record player up in my room and he put on an old CD, not a CD, Jamie Mac, a record at the time. God, I'm 34 now. But, you know, I always knew the music. I always knew what a reel and a jig and stuff like that was. Do you know what I mean, Stephen? Yeah. Then took an interest in... It was fairly late now. It would have been fairly later in life. Would have been about 14 or 15 when I decided that I wanted to start playing guitar. And I went to lessons with this guy. He was classical. He was teaching me classical stuff. Right. And he was giving me little small tests where he'd say, what's the difference between major and minor? And I was able to pick it up. And I always say, and I always think it was because of those tunes the years before. Like, you know,
so that was a natural thing for you then to have that understanding
like,
of music.
I didn't know it was major and minor, but I knew it was happy and sad, like, you know, that sort of way. Or angry and happy or whatever.
Yeah, whatever you mean.
Yeah, so started playing the guitar, but I wanted to play Nirvana and all. Like, I didn't want to play classical something to play. And he gave me 9 lessons. I remember, I'll never ever forget it because I thought it was so funny, so Irish. He gave me 9 lessons and he never showed up for the 10th lesson. I had a big fight with him on the 9th lesson. He said to me, you need to sit down and you need to pick, do you want to be like a musician or do you want to get a normal job like normal people? And I was like, what do you mind? Like, you know, I was only a kid. Like, and when the 10th lesson came along, I was going to book another 10 lessons to learn more Nirvana songs, and he never showed up because he said he thought that I wasn't taking it seriously, and I was like, right enough, I wasn't. So
have you seen him recently?
No, never seen him again. I think he just disappeared. Did he? He might have been a ghost.
Could have been an angel.
Could have been an angel, a rookie angel. But
that's right.
No, then I went off and served my time as an electrician. But I was kind of had a few chords thanks to him on the guitar and stuff. And then I had money. I was dangerous then. I was able to buy instruments, so I bought myself a Boweron and another guitar, steel strings.
Such an interesting instrument with Boweron, isn't it?
Really, really cool. Like, and
I haven't quite figured out how to do that kind of that rhythm, and the hand always seems to be the other way.
I should bring it in and play a song on a Friday because I have it in the car. I might do that.
Would you do that?
I might do that for the
crack. We'll do that in the second half. So check out the Boweron in the second half.
I'm not great on it, but I have it. It is my first instrument, and then. I went on, I got a banjo and then I got a mandolin. I remember buying a mandolin. And the instrument that I have now is called a bouzouki. And
it's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's lovely, but I was kind of getting decent on the banjo at this stage. I was still working as an electrician. I was fully qualified and all. A couple of years had gone past. And, I was kind of contemplating life, and I was saying, you know, I like electrical work, but I also like music, and I'd like to get into playing it. So I started going to more Irish traditional lessons and learning the banjo. And this guy had a banjo in County Kerry, which is down south from in Dublin. He's in Kerry. So I travelled down to have a look, and when I went down, he had a beautiful banjo, and I still have it to this day. I still play it. But I bought the banjo off him, and he also had a bouzouki. Now, it wasn't a great one, but it wasn't a bad one either. And I said to him, what the hell is that? And he says, it's bouzouki, that's what Andy Irvine and Paul Brady and you know, all these guys down in Lunny plays. And I said, yeah, cool. So I'll take that as well. So I gave him an extra couple of quid and done a bit of a deal with him, and he gave me the instrument, and I came back up to Dublin. And I'm not going to name the shop, but I left it in to have it kind of fixed and strings and stuff put on it because I didn't know anything about it. Right. And the guy actually in the shop showed me CCTV footage of me walking out of the shop. He left it in behind the counter to serve somebody else, and another guy walked in and picked the bouzouki up and walked out of the shop with it. And
what?
I couldn't believe what I saw. I was like, no! I was like, no. Never even got to play it. Like. So he told me to come back down and that it was his fault, and he'd give me any of the ones that was on the wall, just take it. So I went and I took one, and I didn't take the most expensive one, but I didn't take the cheapest one either. And he said, no. He says, honest to God, he says, take it. Wow. I started playing on that. I was doing a couple of gigs around, got into a few different bands, you know, the way I in a couple of ensembles and stuff. And I kind of got to a stage where I couldn't. This instrument that I had got was only a kind of a standard beginner's issue of an instrument. And I went to a guy called Joe Foley, and I says, Joe, you know, will you make me an instrument? And he said, I will. He made me an instrument, and that time I got the instrument and got let go out of work at the same time, and I started in a college course studying music with Paul McGrattan and Pat Daly and all these guys. And so anyway, yeah, off I went, and it just started going. And I think the more time you get on stage, there's no practice like standing on stage and playing to 100, 200, 500 people.
You can rehearse as much as you like at home, but the proper rehearsal is when you
make the mistake in front of the audience. It's only once or twice you'll do it, you know. And so that's how it happened, and that's how I got onto the bouzouki.
Let's have a tune from the bouzouki. You got one for us?
I have, yeah. Sure, I'll do one that.
What's this one?
Last night. This would have been one of the first ones that I learned, and like to call it the Irish love song kind of template. Yeah. It's about a fella who joined the army, met this girl, and instantaneously fell in love with her and said, you know, will you marry me? And she said no. And he says, well, since I joined the army, I want to get a new gun. I'll shoot myself, you know, because there's nothing else to live for. Yeah. And she said, no, it's okay, we'll get married. And that's it. It's a really weird story. It's called The Little Drummer, and I would have learned it from the old Christy Moore kind of Planksty kind of era. Right. I remember listening to it when I was 7 and 8 years of age. So this is my version of it. I recorded it on the first Torn album in 2009, and it goes like this anyway. One fine summer's morning, both gallant and gay, 24 ladies went out on the quay, and a regiment of soldiers did soon pass them by. A drummer and one of them soon caught his eye. Well, he went to his comrades, unto them did say, 24 ladies I saw yesterday. Oh, well, one of those ladies, she has me heart won, and if she denies me, I'm surely undone. Go up to this woman and tell her you're polite. Go and tell her she's wounded your poor heart inside. Go and tell her she's wounded your poor heart in full sore. And if she denies you, what can you do more? Well, early next morning this young man arose. He dressed himself up in a fine suit of clothes, with a watch in his pocket and a cane in his hand. He saluted those ladies as he walked down the strand. Well, he walked up to her and he says, pardon me, lady, for making so free. Oh, me fine-hearted lady, you have me heart won, and if you deny me, I'm surely undone. Drummer, now what do you mean? For I'm the Lord's daughter on Ballykistine. Oh, and I'm the Lord's daughter on Honor, you see. Go off, little drummer, you're making too free. So he put on his hands and he bade her farewell, saying, I'll send me soul down to heaven or hell. Oh, for with this long pistol that hangs by me side, oh, I'll put an end to me own dreary life. Come back, little drummer, now what do you mean? For I do not want to be guilty of sin, to be guilty of innocent blood for to spill. Come back, little drummer, I'm here at your will. Oh, we'll hire a car down to Bancho we'll go, and there we'll be married in spite of all foes. Oh, for what can you say when it's over and done, that I fell in love with the road of your drum?
So emotional when I hear music like that. It just blows me away. It's fantastic.
Thanks, man. It's easy to sing when you have an instrument like this. Like, you know, if you don't mind me plugging the guy who made it for me, his name is Joe Foley, and it's a gorgeous instrument, and he made it from scratch for me. I have 3 of Joe's instruments. I had 4, and I very reluctantly sold one a couple of years ago.
Right.
and it was the worst thing I ever done. I should have kept it, you know. But he made this instrument for me with a spruce top, and it's just, it makes it an awful lot easier when you have a nice instrument and your fingers glide up and down along.
Well, I'm going to say,
it's lovely.
that was for the first tune, absolutely fantastic.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks.
We're going to take a short break. We're coming back, and remember, there's a Baran or a Bowron. How do you say it?
Bowron, yeah.
A Bowron. There's a Bowron in the second set. Come back and see you soon.